Hi guys, this is the Launch Control Top 10. Right now you're looking at Season 7, Episode 10, where we go to the Nitro World Games, the most crazy, intense rallycross track on the planet, and one that holds some bad memories for myself, as just a few months ago I was there with a broken back. So one of the unique things about the Nitro World Games is that as the week goes on, you know, Travis has all of us drivers out on the track, and we're literally designing corners and moving apexes around all the way up to the day before practice. If you can even imagine, the event is even more crazy in real life because there's literally so much stuff going on. We don't get very many laps of practice. The track's always changing. It's always evolving, even more so than other rallycross tracks. You know, when I went to the Nitro World Games, I broke my back, but I had never really seen any of the footage. I saw one grainy picture from like a camera way down pit road that saw the jump, but it didn't look that bad. But I remember when I watched this episode for the first time and they had the in-car camera, and I kind of sort of relived it from that point of view. It was surreal. Like it was a little bit scary, and to be honest, I didn't want to watch it again. All right, guys, here's number 8 on the countdown, the NRX episode number 10 from season 7, coming at you.
On this episode,
what we're doing this weekend is kind of pushing the limits of what we can do in motorsports with Subaru.
I think any time that you send a car off a 100-foot gap jump, there's some nervousness.
It's 505 miles. It's the longest race in America.
I'm just getting beat up, really tired, dirty. It's a battle.
You know, it's dangerous. This is more than just trying to win. You're trying to make sure that the track's safe.
You can't help but notice the risk.
Got to figure out what that's going to mean towards the standings.
this is Launch Control. Most racing seasons have an end goal: the overall championship win. Every engineer, driver, and manager at Subaru Motorsports USA is focused on earning the American Rally and Rallycross titles. But sometimes events from outside the series come along that are so over the top, they're hard to pass up. This weekend, 2 such events take center stage.
So we're at Nitro Rallycross this weekend. This is kind of a different event. It's not part of the usual ARX calendar.
Nitro Rallycross is the centerpiece of the Nitro World Games, straight from the creative mind of Subaru's own Travis Pastrana.
It really gives people an idea of what Rallycross can be at its most extreme.
It may not be part of the ARX Championship, but this is considered the single biggest event of the season. And just down the road in Nevada, another team prepares.
We have another event going on this weekend. It is the Vegas to Reno off-road race, and we have a vehicle called the Crosscheck Desert Racer that we've been supporting through Grabowski Brothers Racing and Crawford Performance for the last couple of years. It's a purpose-built off-road racer, but it runs a Subaru Boxer engine, and we can demonstrate kind of the good stuff that goes into the cars that we sell. What we're doing this weekend is kind of pushing the limits of what we can do in motorsports with Subaru.
It's exciting. Get that.
It all makes for the most extreme race weekend of the Subaru Motorsports year. This is the centerpiece of the Nitro Rallycross track, a 90-foot gap jump, over a tabletop jump, over a tunnel.
Jump testing here at Nitro is very different from any of the other testing that we do as part of Rallycross. What we're doing now is dealing with a 90-foot gap jump. Travis is always the guy who sets up the jump and is the first to test it.
And we are so lucky to have Travis in the team because we send him out first as our stunt driver, and if he survives, then I go.
A jump conceived by Pastrana must be proven safe by Pastrana.
Certainly when it comes to jump practice at the Nitro World Games, everybody is on the same team. The launch angle and the speed really determines where you're going to land. Jump practice was all about Travis figuring out what that speed was, all the Rallycross teams getting that information, testing that speed a bunch of times down the straightaway so we make sure we got it perfect, and then the only thing left to do is descend it. And honestly, it's super scary when you first do it, But after a couple of times, it just seems like one of the other straightaways on the track. It's actually not that big a deal. What we were able to do with the Subarus is add a limiter button to the steering wheel that would allow our RPM to stop at a certain number. We calculate that to what speed we want in that gear that we're going to hit the jump in, and really our job as a driver is pretty easy to hit the jump.
Well, that went well.
Pastrana's first attempt lands clean. Now it's time for the others to try.
Such a weight off my shoulders right now. I mean, no one else has hit the jumps, but there's such a big range this year on what the drivers can do. There's a good range that you can land short, you can land long, and the car's gonna hold up.
Eliminate the nerves.
It's always a little bit of concern in the back of your mind, but the best thing for me to do is just get out there and do it.
Prove it for themselves.
I think anytime that you send a car off a 100-foot gap jump, there's some nervousness.
Master the fear.
You can't help but notice the risk and the excitement of that kind of a big, spectacular jump.
And get it done. With the gap jump proven, the focus shifts to the rest of the track. A track that chewed up this team in 2018. But this year won't be the same.
I think we come here very confident this year. We have proven the speed over and over again throughout the whole summer. I think we're gonna have a really, really strong result here. We have 4 great drivers. The car is fantastic. Subarus, they are designed for dirt, and this is a dirt track, so it should be good. Now.
So the line is you either go inside of the tires or the jump and go to line A, or if you hit the jump, you can go to line B or joker.
The first of 3 points-paying sessions at Nitro is qualifying. One by one, drivers take to the bank turns and moto-style tabletops to set their best time. It's the track their inner kid dreams about, but this isn't imaginary. Fail to figure out the lines, and you'll battle from behind all weekend long. Sandell strings it all together to win qualifying on his way into the challenge races.
Yesterday, on second practice that counted, we were dead last, meaning that we would start first in qualifying to get the best track. We were lucky it worked and it paid off, and it's a gamble, but it worked.
The challenge races are head-to-head, still time-based, but with a second competitor on course to increase the difficulty. Speed was fast in qualifying, and now he's fine-tuned each sector of the track and is well on his way to improving his standing. A few corners left, Scott sets up his final line, but then it all goes wrong. Flat on the landing, an extremely hard impact. Scott crosses the finish line in distress. He has hurt his back, and he quickly pulls over and gets out. Immediately realizing the seriousness, Scott lies down on the ground.
From the moment I was in the air off the jump to the moment I lied on the ground, I think I can't imagine going through more of an emotional swing, because I knew my heat race went pretty well, and I knew we'd be one of the top qualifiers from that, overall time from the heat race. And so when I landed, and I definitely felt a lot of pain, I thought, okay, I'm going to finish this race. And then I immediately thought, am I going to be ready to go for heat 2? And then 20 seconds later, I'm lying on the ground, literally just hoping to live, because the pain had gotten so bad so quick that I literally couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe in. It was hurting so bad, and that was basically the status quo for the next 24 hours, really. So it was quite a swing.
Everything happens quickly. By the time the cameras arrive, his car is being driven away by a mechanic, and Scott's leaving in an ambulance. Few people know what's happened.
jumped on the last jump before the straight. I saw him land in the flat, and then just heard that there was an ambulance coming, so I really don't know. We got to go find out.
Unfortunately, even though Scott is probably top 2, he hurt his back on the landing of one of the jumps, so he's not going to be able to compete in the next one. Got to figure out what that's going to mean towards the standings.
Despite Scott's injury looming over the team, the event continues. The team now needs to balance concern for its driver with the pressure of performing. Racing is never without risk, but the stark reminder of that fact makes everyone uneasy. Now, the challenge is to ignore the negative thoughts and deliver quality racecraft. It's a struggle for everyone. For Chris, his position will not improve. A faulty spark plug and rough-running engine ends his day early. He'll have to regroup for the semifinal races tomorrow. Travis, however, lays down a strong performance. He's had limited seat time in these new Rallycross Subarus, but he adapts fast. A late cut inside moves him past his longtime friend, Ken Block. Travis takes 3rd place.
I'm so happy, man. That was the coolest, most fun race I've ever had in my life. I was like, why is he taking the jump the first lap? But it made it great. I'm really sorry that was super aggressive, but it made it great.
Sandell continues to set solid times. He holds on to 1st place through all 3 points races.
So good. It's been awesome. And this man, geez, on fire. Qualifies pole. Awesome strategy from yesterday. I think P3 in the second one. He's so the only thing is in Nitro, if you're P1 or 2, you don't have to do any of the races tomorrow, but you got to go do press tonight.
I do press all day, all night.
No problem. My man.
And while Sandell qualifying straight to the final is a big positive, the team's success sits in the shadow of a much bigger concern for their teammate. 400 miles south, contingency and tech inspection is underway for the Vegas to Reno off-road race.
My name is Dustin Grabowski, driver of the 5072 Crosstrack Desert Racer, and we're out here at the 2019 Vegas to Reno.
It's 505 miles. It's the longest race in America.
But if everything is going the way we hope it's going to, like it did for us last year, we're hoping to be in the 10-hour range.
This unique build boasts Subaru colors and a boxer engine.
The car is most known for the Subaru power plant. It's brought us multiple wins.
For us, it's a new thing to try. We've done rally and rallycross for a lot of years, but desert racing is new to us, and it's very extreme. The quality and the durability of a Subaru engine in those types of extreme conditions, even in a chassis that isn't production-based, is something that we can learn from.
Hundreds of teams line up in the desert, ready to tackle this epic point-to-point race. For Grabowski Brothers Racing, anything less than a class win is a failure.
I started racing this car maybe in 2016, and we've just been racing it ever since. Just been moving up, doing bigger races, and now just hoping to win as many as we can.
Yeah, not really any jitters, just kind of anxious to get on the road and start moving.
After a long wait, the Crosstrack enters the course. The race is a test of endurance and speed. There are no stages here. It's a 500-mile straight shot.
Part of off-road racing is having to pass people, and this race there will be a lot of cars starting ahead of us, and so there'll be a ton of passing going on and a lot of dust.
Service trucks travel down the highway to meet them along the way. Fuel, tires, and repairs, and you carry on. The clock never stops. Fastest car to the finish line wins.
Just driving in the car the whole time, just getting beat up, really tired, dirty, it's a battle.
The Grabowski brothers take to an early lead. They hope to never look back. by morning in Utah, as the team rolls in for the final race day, Scott's diagnosis is in, and it's not good.
I've made a great recovery. I'd say I'm really close to 100%. I got the green light to start running and playing golf about a month ago. Those are two of the sort of last things I could do to continue strengthening my back from both the rotational standpoint and from a vertical load standpoint. I think I was also lucky to be in extremely good shape when I did break my back, and had really great guidance from amazing doctors here in Charlotte that allowed me to do this recovery without having any surgery. Okay, I'm definitely an inch and a half shorter, but I feel pretty much 100% normal.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh, Dad!
Hold on, do it again.
I think that when we were filming the episode where, I noticed that I was an inch and a half shorter, I think it was one of the most authentic things I've ever filmed. I mean, I was truly surprised when I walked by and I saw my mark on the wall. It was the craziest experience. One of those real little weird small quirks that you get in life.
The information we got today from the hospital is that Scott has 3 broken vertebrae, and it's more serious than we thought. One of them, the T6 vertebrae, is bad, and certainly he's out for today, and maybe might be out for the next events. We don't know. We're just waiting.
The hope is that we can have a decent plan for treatment put together between the doctors here in Utah and Scott's docs at home back in Charlotte. But obviously he's going to be out for a while, it seems, at this point, and that is going to have implications on the rest of the season. But the most important thing is that Scott has the chance to heal up, get better, and come back at full strength when he's ready.
The news is difficult to take, and every team member is worried for him. But the event goes on, and they need to find a way to focus on the racing ahead.
Yeah, we had our issues which cost us some pedals to the back, but obviously nothing compared to Scott, and obviously we're all thinking about him now and hope he gets better quickly and that there's no other issues. We've basically got nothing to lose, so we're at the back and we need to win, so it's pretty much all out attack, try and get to the front somehow. Only the winner goes to the final, so that's the goal. Not going to be easy. There's 3 quick guys in front of me, and see what happens.
Dude, I've never been so nervous. I mean, Scott Speed breaks his back yesterday on probably the easiest jump here. It's like, you hope everyone's safe, but everyone wants to win. And man, when you get all these guys out here trying to turn in the fastest time, it's dangerous. This is more than just trying to win. You're trying to make sure that the track's safe, and just hope everyone has a good day. Hope I win.
First up, the semifinal. Only the top car moves on. Both Pastrana and Atkinson will fight each other to advance.
Clear into 1.
Pastrana trails Steve Arpin over the jump. Arpin's winning the launches, but not the lap times. And Pastrana starts to reel him in. But before he makes the pass, Arpin suffers a flat and drops down the order.
Let's go now, push it. Draft him. Outside. Arpin's trying to hold you up intentionally.
The spin doesn't affect the outcome. Pastrana has the win in hand and advances as Atkinson misses out this time. He'll have one more shot to make it in the last chance qualifier. For Pastrana, it's a clean race.
Clear behind.
He qualifies for the final, and the excitement is clear.
I think you enjoyed that. Well done, mate. You're in the final.
It's not going to get any easier than this. We got the inside pole. I've sat in there for a half hour this morning, just going over like a 15-year-old getting ready to get his driver's license, going over all the functions, but I'll get there. I haven't figured out the protocol yet, Scott, but I'm going to try to do one for you, man. Hope you heal up quick. I'm happy everything else has gone pretty good, and I can't believe we made the final, man. I'm stoked.
Atkinson, because of the engine we lost yesterday, was just in a bad grid spot. Atco has to move on to the LCQ now. He has to finish in the top 2, and he's in the back of the pack. We'll have to see how it goes. It's time to just send it and see what happens, really.
The Nitro World Games course is pretty much all dirt. So that means you're kind of sliding around looking for grip wherever you can find it, which means as a driver, you're more open than most tracks to explore new lines, try different things, and you got to be pretty creative and on your toes. I would say that the same philosophy typically always rings true with a rallycross car, and that's the shortest way around the tracks, typically the better. So whether you can put this massive bank corner there or not, a rallycross car accelerates and brakes so well, 9 times out of 10, you're most likely just going to take the shortest distance possible.
I really wish Chris can make it through to the final now. He deserves to be there, so I'm stressed for everybody now. It's a strange feeling. So now I know how, the mechanics and everybody feel when I'm driving. It's hard.
Last chance qualifier, and Atkinson hugs the inside line to stay safe.
Hit your mark. Everybody went to the gap. They're all going to be crossing on the gap here.
The rules state drivers need to take each of the 3 lines once, so finding some clean air could be an advantage. But Atco re-enters mid-pack.
Stay with Tanner. Tanner in front of you is your target. Time to move here.
Only the top 2 move on, and Atkinson's weekend ends when he crosses the line in 3rd.
Sorry guys, I tried my best.
That's too bad. You deserve to be in there.
Back in Nevada, the Crosstrek Desert Racer has built up a significant lead over the first 250 miles of racing. But under the baking desert sun, the fuel system is malfunctioning. They think the fuel is boiling before it gets to the engine, causing vapor lock.
Last pit we were told that they've been having some fuel pressure problems, having to shut the car off, prime it several times before they get it fire up and run again. So we're going to take a long shot that the fuel's too hot, and we have fuel all over the course being iced right now, and we will eliminate the big fuel, and we're just going to put cool fuel in the car the rest of the way to try to eliminate one thing that can be hot fuel. We know we can bring that temperature down.
They've managed to nurse it to the next roadside service area, but their 12-minute lead has turned into a 12-minute deficit. In this sport, the clock never stops, so it's all hands on deck to limit the losses.
I just stopped. If I shut off the computer for about 2 minutes,
that's vapor locking,
and start it back up, it worked. Right.
We did ice cold fuel in you right here. We're gonna do it again down the road.
Coming? Right.
Wait till Roy's done.
Yeah, another gallon here and 5 there.
Get your helmet on.
This experienced team knows what it takes to win here. But with limited time, it's a balance of making a significant repair versus getting the car back in the hunt. Cold fuel in.
Oh, fuel's done.
Hey, did they change that right rear?
Right. Did we change the right rear? No.
Tire change complete. It's time to chase down the leader as the service crew leapfrogs ahead for the next ice-cold fuel injection. Desert racing is never straightforward. Every team will have issues. Some big, some small. But in the end, it's about pressing on through the heat, dust, and brutal conditions.
Left and a right, right.
This team isn't going down without a fight. With 50 miles remaining, they're back within 3 minutes of the leader and chasing hard. As the sun sets, it's only a matter of miles before the team will know the final result. With the lead in sight, the mileage ran out. Second place for the Grabowski brothers team.
All 3 of us that were all running the top 3 all kind of got into it up in the hills. We were playing bumper cars off each other. At the end, this last 15 miles is super rocky. I just sent it through there. Back right tire's flat right now. Sent it through there and just trying to make up a little bit of time. podium, but we come here to win races, not get podiums.
We battled mechanical problems with some fuel pressure, and the driver did everything he could. Had a couple flats when he was pushing it. All in all, this is why we raced, to come back and go to Mexico and see if we can conquer it. Today, Vegas Reno beat us.
In Utah, the atmosphere is electric. The final race is minutes away.
Very nervous. I'm excited. I made it further than I expected, but we got a legit shot of this.
Remember, you get paid to have fun. There ain't many of us that get to do that,
You get paid to have fun?
I know I do. I'm just saying, there ain't many of us that get to do that.
It's not a championship race, but this is the event everyone wants to win. Nitro Games is the crown jewel of Rallycross. Cars are loaded on the grid, and all the team can do is watch. 2 Subarus positioned inside have a strong chance at the win. And they're off. Sandell slips the clutch. It's not a perfect launch, opening the door for Hansen in front. Block also moves inside on Pastrana.
Clear on the merge, clear on the merge. Let's go, let's catch him.
Both Subarus opt for the gap jump to start. Better to be in the lead pack and defend than to claw your way up from behind.
All in, standard line. You're clean, you're clean.
Sandell and Hansen pull away. The 2 Swedes turning fast laps.
4 back. Travis behind you. Come on, let's go, big jump.
Pastrana, on the other hand, can't shake the trailing group and is under attack. The battle with Block goes back and forth, and it costs them. Flat tires take them both out of podium contention. Sandell in second is trying every trick in the book to make a pass.
You can move now, you can do this. Inside. Come on, come on.
But the laps run short.
P2, Patrick. Patrick and Dan, good drive.
He'll take second place on the craziest rallycross track in the world. The result is positive, but bittersweet. It was a stellar show for the fans and an amazing improvement on their results here a year ago. But every team member's excitement is tempered. They're a man down.
I think I will be happy with this one after a few days. Having Scott in my back of my head, wondering how it's going for him at the hospital.
And the weight of that unknown dampens their celebration.
The most important thing first is Scott's health, and that he gets better and comes back in good shape, and we continue forward, as a team, as we were.
Everything about this weekend is dedicated to Scott, because really all of us are thinking about him right now. We were at the track in mind and body, but we weren't here in spirit, because one of our guys is sitting in a hospital room right now, and that's never what you want when you come to the racetrack. So all of us are pulling for him. We're going to check in on him soon and hopefully find out more about how he's doing and put a plan together for the rest of the season.
Where this team will be in 1 month's time, and in what shape, is the big unknown.